Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's again your statistics educator Sanjeev Pal welcoming you all to the class of statistics. Okay, now children, we'll move further over here, right? Now, if it is being told to find out the index number by weighted average method, we are going to use over here the general price index number or general index number. The general index number, as you see the formula over here, it is sigma IW upon sigma W. Sigma IW upon sigma W. I indicates what? It indicates the index number, and W indicates what? It indicates the weight or the importances given to each and every item. Now suppose in your sum say I and W is not basically given. So at that time how we are going to find out I and W? You would find while we talk about I, right, it is actually the index number, right? When index number is not given to you, we can find out the index number. Index number I, we have seen our regular formula. Okay, that is, it is actually your P1 upon your P0, right? That one was, that is how you find out the I or index number, that is P1 upon P0. This is when the index number or I is not given to you, right? Now suppose similarly you would find over here that W is not given to you. Now W is what? W is the weights. Okay, now what do we mean by weights? Weights, again, they are the importances given to each and every item. So while we talk about say weights, okay, how we can find out the weights if it is not given to us? Okay, we can find out the weights, that is, you can say your sigma W is going to be equal to sigma say P0 Q0. Now what do we mean by sigma P0 Q0? It is actually say the P for price of any say past year, and what do we mean by Q? Q is the quantity say of any past year, right? That is how you find out basically sigma W. That is the general price index number or general index numbers number formula, or you can say to find out the index number by weighted average. Now there are other three formulas. Okay, the next formula that we are going to discuss is the formula or Laspers, or you can say Laspers index number, right? Say Laspers index number. Okay, now to find out the Laspers index number, okay, into the sums, right, you would find we always use this formula. This IL. L indicates what? It indicates Laspers. IL, that is index number by Laspers method. It is actually what? Sigma P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q0 into 100. I repeat, it's sigma P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q0 into 100. Again, P indicates what? Indicates what? It is actually your P1 is actually say the price of the current year. Q0 is the quantity of the base year. Again, P0 is the price of the base year, and Q0 is what? Is the quantity of the base year. So IL is equal to P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q0 into 100. That is finding out index number by Laspers method. Then it is actually by Pasteur's method, right? Pasteur's method, how do we basically find out the index number? Over here also you would find the formula, okay, to find out the index number by Pasteur's method is, that is, you can say IP is equal to what? Sigma P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q1 into 100. Sigma P1, I really apologize for this. IP is equal to what? Sigma P1 Q1 upon sigma P0 Q1 into 100, right? P1 indicates what? It is actually your price of the current year. Q1 indicates what? It is the quantity of the current year. P0 is actually the price of the base year, and Q1 is the quantity of the current year. This is how you find out index number by Pasteur's formula or by Pasteur's method. So I repeat, IP is equal to sigma P1 Q1 upon sigma P0 Q1 into 100. That is actually finding out index number by Laspey's method and say by Pasteur's method. And the next one comes is actually your finding out the index number by Fisher's formula, right? Or you can say Fisher's index number. Now children, actually Fisher was very intelligent, right? What he did was that he used actually Laspey's formula and Pasteur's formula, okay, and just used it to make his own formula. You would find the Fisher's index number, as the formula indicates, the first formula indicates, right? That is, you can say while we talk about I again indicates what index number. F is finding out index number by Fisher's method, right? You would find your index number by Fisher's method is equal to your say under root IL into IP, right? Under root IL into IP. Again, IL is index number by Laspey's method and IP is what? Index number by Pasteur's method. The another way to find out the index number, okay, by Fisher's method is say your IF is equal to under root sigma P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q0 into sigma P1 Q1 upon sigma P0 Q1 into 100. You would find sigma P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q0 is your Laspey's index number, and sigma P1 Q1 upon sigma P0 Q1 is your Pasteur's index number. Okay, so both of them we are using it. We are just we are doing doing the under root of both of them, and we are multiplying it by 100. That is how we are finding out index number by Fisher's method, right? So that is how Fisher has used both the methods of Laspey's and Pasteur's and just formulated it again and gave its own name, right? And you would find children, Fisher's index number is actually regarded as the ideal index number. Again, if it has been told find out the index number by or find out the index number, okay, by ideal method, okay, it would be your Fisher's formula that what you are going to use, right? It is the best method to find out the index number, right? Now why it is ideal, right? Now we are going to see, okay, to it that why Fisher's index number is called the ideal index number. There are certain reasons to it, right? See the first one, what they given, the quantities of both the year, that is the base year and the current year, are taken in say computation, okay, of finding out the of the index number. So over here you would find, as you are taking, okay, say the quantities of the current year also and the base year also, right? Say both the quantities are being taken, and that's why it is an ideal index number. Secondly, you would find that the index number satisfies both the important fundamental tests, that is, you can say time reversal and the factor reversal. Okay, that is, you are going into the opposite direction. That is, you are using the current factors also and so the past factors also, right? And that's why Fisher's index number is the ideal one. Third one, you would find, say the geometric mean is used to calculate the index number, which is the best average for the constructing the index number. Okay, why it has been told it is a geometric mean? Because see over here we are using IL and IP and we are just underrooting say both of them, and that's why you would find say it is the geometric mean of both index number by Laspey's and Pasteur's, and that's why it is the ideal one, right? So that also becomes one of the advantages, or you can say why Fisher's index number is regarded as the ideal one, right? And the last one to it, as it has been given, the index number is free from say any kind of biasness, okay, as it actually say regulates, or you can say it actually balances the demerits of the Laspey's and the Pasteur's index number. Children, we have seen Laspey's index number, we have seen Pasteur's index number. Yes, there could be some or the other demerits also. Over here in Fisher's index number, because you are using both of them, you would find Laspey's index number, the demerits of the Laspey's index number is also eradicated, and you would find the demerits of the Pasteur's index number is also eradicated, right? So these are the four reasons why say Fisher's index number is regarded as the ideal one, right? So now we are basically going to see these three methods. you would find in section F, compulsorily one sum comes of 5 marks, okay, asking this 3 methods, right? So this is one of the easiest methods. Also, these are the easiest methods, right? And you would find scoring one also. You have to just what you call use the formula, okay, seeing to what is being asked and what is the sum being given. So over here we'll see to the 11th example, right? What they given: find the index number for the year 2016 with the base year 2011, right, by weighted average method. So over here they have told the weighted average method, and weighted average method, what we saw it is the general index number, that is sigma iw upon, say, sigma w. Okay, that method we are going to use. What has been given over here? Items have been given to us, right? And you would find weights have been given to us. Okay, year of 2011, that is actually the base year, and year 2016, that is the price of 2016, that is the price of the current year. So base year price has been given to you, and the current year price also has been given to you, and they have told us, right, they have told us to find out say the index number. Okay, that is we are going to use the general price index number, right? Okay, you would find, okay, from the sum that we have taken all the items from A to E vertically, right? You have also written all the weights, okay, that is W vertically, and mostly children, you would find the total of the weights will come up to 100, okay, in most of the cases, right? Now you would find P0. What is P0? It is the price of the base year, right? Okay, you would find it is 160, say 450, 10 and 2, right? That is you would find it from the sum given, that is of the year 2011. You would find, right, it is 160, 450, 10 and 2, and for the current year price you would find it has been given 200, 600, 70, 18 and 3, right? That only you are writing it over here, that is P1. Okay, price of the current year 200, 600, 17, sorry, 70, 70, 18 and 3, right? Index number, right, as I told you, because index number is not been given to us, right, we are using P1 upon P0. That is what we had seen earlier. Okay, to find out, because the index number is there, you are multiplying it by 100, right? So how you are going to find out for the first item? Okay, the first item, that is your item A, right? You would find with the help of P1 and P0. See, for the first item A, P1 you are taking it into the numerator, 200. P0 you are, that is 160, you are taking it into the denominator, multiplying it by 100. Thus you are going to get, or you are getting, the index number. Similarly you are doing it for item B, right? Item C, D and E. Okay, I will show you for the B. That is for the current year, the price is 600. You are taking it in the numerator, that is P1. Okay, price of the base year, that is P0, 400. You are taking it in the denominator, again multiplying it by 100. You are getting 150. That is how you are going to do it for C, D and E. Okay, the index numbers that you are getting for C, D and E are 140, 180 and 150. That is the index numbers of all the 5 items A, B, C, D and E. Okay, now we have seen the weights. Okay, weights has already been given to us, and that's we have written over here, that is 40, 25, 5, 20 and 10. Okay, those weights we are going to multiply by I. That is how you are going to get IW. Okay, see the first one, 125 multiplied by 40 will give you what? Will give you 5000. Still you can use your calculator and you can see. For the second item, that is item B, right, that is you are taking 150 multiplied by 25, you will get 3750. See the third one, that is item C, 140, okay, multiplied by say 5, okay, you are going to get 700. Similarly do it for D and E. For D you are going to get 3600, and for E you are going to get 1500. Add all the items for IW, you are going to get 14,550, right? Now you are going to find out the index number, okay, with the help of the formula sigma IW upon sigma W. Okay, now sigma IW, you found it over here, that is 14550, that you are using it in the numerator for sigma IW. Sigma W we have seen, the total you would do for the column of weight is coming up to 100, right? That is you are going to take it in the denominator, divide it Okay, divide 14550 by 100, you are going to get 145.50, right? That is the index number, say your general price index number, right? General price index number or index number by weighted average method. Now what is the increase to it? This 145.50 minus 100 will give you excuse me, an increase of 45.5 percentage, okay, in the prices. So that is how you do this sum, right? Come to your question number, say 12. Okay, they have directly given over here that find the Laspey's, Pastures and Fishes index number for the year excuse me 2016, okay, with the base year 2015 from the data shown about the price and the consumption of the food items given below. Now see children, over here again while we talk about the different items, it is rice, milk, bread and banana. 4 items are there. Now this is very important unit, okay, that is rice is in kilogram, milk is actually in liter, it is 1 liter only, rice is 1 kg only, the units have been given to you. Bread, you would find the prices of 1 kilogram is been given to you, and banana, that is of 1 dozen, right? Now prices have been given to you, right? Quantity are been given to you, right? Now year 2016 and 2015, again 2016, it is the latest year, that's why it becomes the current year. So over here for 2016, the price and quantity that you find, they are the price and quantities for the current year. Similarly for 2015 as it is the past year, okay, its price and quantity, okay, becomes the price for the base year and quantity for the base year, that is P0 and Q0, and this becomes P1 and Q1, right? So that is how this sum is, and they have told you to find out by all the 3 methods, right? Fine. Now as you would find over here, okay, the sum number basically 12, right? You would find we have taken all the items vertically again, that is rice, milk, bread and banana, okay, they are in units, so we have taken those units also, kilogram, liter, kilogram again and the dozen. And as I told you, your P0 Q0, that is you can say price and say quantity, okay, for the base year, and that is actually your year 2015. And your P1 and Q1, okay, they are the price and the quantity for 2016, that is the year, or you can say the current year, okay. For say Laspey's method, we know that is your IL is equal to P1 upon sigma P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q0 into 100, right? Your index number by Pastures method is sigma P1 Q1 upon sigma P0 Q1 into 100. And by Fisher's method, you know, we have seen that he uses both the formulas. So which columns we need to have? We need to have P1, we need to have our P1 Q0, we need to have the column of P0 Q0, we need to have the column of P1 Q1 and the column of P0 Q1, right? So that you are going to indicate over here, right? After Q1 you would find all those 4 columns are there, P1 Q0, P0 Q0, P1 Q1 and P0 Q1. Okay, now what do we mean by P1 Q0? Okay, you are going to multiply P1, that is 40, and Q0, that is 1. So P1 Q0 will give you 40. What do we mean by P0 Q0? You are going to multiply P0, that is 39, okay, Q0, that is 1, you are going to multiply, it will give you 39 multiplied by 1, that is 39. Then comes P1 Q1. What do you mean by P1 Q1? You are going to multiply 40 and 1.5. 40 multiplied by 1.5, that is P1 Q1, right, will give you 6060. Then comes your P0 Q1. What you are going to do? Okay, your P0 is 39 and Q1 is what? 1.5. Both of them you are going to multiply. You are going to get 58.5, right? So that is how you are going to multiply them, and you are going to get for milk, bread and banana also, right? So you are going to get for each and every item, that is for all the 4 items, then you are going to add them. So you would find sigma P1 Q0 is 740, sigma P0 Q0 is 669, sigma P1 Q1 is 629, and sigma P0 Q1 is 571. Right, now this totals you are going to take into the formula of Laspeyres and say Pasteuris. Right, so as per Laspeyres index number, again the formula, your sigma P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q0 into 100. Okay, from the above table you are going to take the values over here, that is 740 divided by say 669 multiplied by 100, and you are going to get 110.61. okay, you can write up to 2 decimal places. Now you just minus it by 100 and show what is the increase in the price. Children, it is compulsory to mention what is the increase in price every time. Okay, you are going to get the marks for this statements, right? So just minus it, you would find there is an increase in 10 and there is an increase in prices, price of it by 10.61 percentage, right? That is by Laspeyres index number. Now Pasteuris index number, again the same formula as we have seen, IP is equal to sigma P1 Q1 upon sigma P0 Q1 into 100. Again the values of sigma P1 Q1 and P0 Q1 we are going to take from the above table, right? You would find sigma P1 Q1 is 629 and sigma P0 Q1 is 571. Use it into the formula, divide it, multiply it by 100, you are getting 110.16. Again, what is the rise? Just deduct 100 from it. This 110.16 minus 100 will give you 10.16 percentage. So there is a rise, okay, by 10.16 percentage by your Pasteuris index number. Now we are going to see this Fisher's index number. Fisher's index number, as you have seen, the first formula for Fisher's index number, okay, there is your say under root IL into IP. IL, okay, 110.61, right? That is you are going to take from here. There is IL, you would find 110.61, you are using it, okay, and you would find, while we talk about IP is 110.16, okay, that is also you are using into the formula. Just multiply them first and do the under root of it, you are going to get 110.38, right? Again, just deduct 100 from it, you are going to find out what is the rise, okay, in prices. So you would find 10.38 percentage is the rise in price, okay, by the Fisher's index number, right? That is how you find out index number by these 3 methods, that is Laspeyres method, Pasteuris method, and by Fisher's method. Children, this is one of the important sums, okay, and they regularly, okay, and compulsorily asked to find out the index number. One sum compulsorily comes to find out the index number by these 3 methods, right? Okay, in your section F, that is 5 marks question, right? Okay, children, now we are going to see over here the 14th sum. Okay, I've skipped the 13th sum. 13th sum we are going to see into the class, right? Because there are certain calculations that are to be basically shown into the board, and say I need to basically show you all the calculations precisely, so that we will do it into the class, right? So directly come up to the 14th sum. Over here again, they have told us find out the index number for the year 2015 from the following data. See, they have not mentioned the method over here, right? So when nothing has been mentioned, okay, what you are going to use? You are going to use the ideal method, and we have seen what is the ideal method. The ideal method is the Fisher's method. Over here, it's very simple. Items A, B, C is given to you. Base year, that is the price and the quantity of the base year been given, and you would find the price and quantity of the current year is given, right? So how to do this sum? Again, you would find that items are there A, B, and C, right? You can again you have just noted down the price of the base year, the quantity of the base year, the price of the current year, and the quantity of the current year, that is P0, Q0, P1 and Q1 respectively. Now as we have seen that as nothing has been told to us, and as Fisher's index number is the ideal one, we are going to use the Fisher's index number. Over here the formula for Fisher's index number, okay, which one is used is under root sigma P1 Q0 upon sigma P0 Q0 into sigma P1 Q1 upon sigma P0 Q1 into 100. Over here we have not found out say Laspers and Pasteur's index numbers separately. Okay, only those formulas we have used over here. That is the second formula for Fisher's index number we have used over here. So what will be the other columns? It would be your say sigma P1 Q0, sigma P0 Q0, sigma P1 Q1 and sigma P0 Q1, right? As I told you, into the last sum you are going to just multiply. I will show you for P1 Q0 and you will do the other columns accordingly, right? P1 Q0 is there, so you are going to multiply what? You are going to multiply P1, that is 20, and Q0 is what? It is 10. So 20 multiplied by 10 will give you what? 200. Similarly, if I talk about P0 Q0, P0, right, it is 16, Q0 it is 10, that is 16 multiplied by 10 will give you 160. Excuse me. The third one is what? Is actually P1 Q1. P1 Q1, that is 20 multiplied by 11 will give you 220. And P0 Q1, P0 Q1, as you can say 16 multiplied by 11 will give you 176. There is for one item I have shown you, that is for item A. For item B and C, you are going to find out the values of this column accordingly, and again then you are going to add them. Okay, you will find the sigma P1 Q0 is 1056, sigma P0 Q0 is 852, sigma P1 Q1 is 1116, and sigma P0 Q1 is 900, right? Again, all these four values you are going to use it, okay, or you can say insert it into this formula, and you are going to find out the index number by Fisher's method, that is 123.97, right? You are going to deduct 100 from it again, right? You are going to write the last statement, okay, and you are going to find that the rise in price is say by 23.9 7 percentage, right? That is how you find out the index number when nothing is being told. You are using the ideal index number, that is Fisher's index number, right? So children, this is how these three methods are, right, and how you need to do it. And the next sum we are going to see into our next lecture. So bye for time being, right? Take care of yourself, take care of your parents, right?